Have you ever had one of those nightmares where you're swimming in the pool and you feel like there's a monster underneath you, like a shark or something? I used to always have bad dreams like this when I was younger. I used to swim a lot in a swimming pool, and this week that nightmare came true for someone in Port Douglas. So imagine this, you're waking up in a luxury 5-star resort. You go head down to the pool with your kids, and all of a sudden you see something pop out of the water and you're like, what is that? Yep. It's a baby crocodile, not just a freshwater crocodile, a saltwater crocodile, right here in North Queensland. Welcome to far North Queensland. Even though I'm not in far North Queensland, I'm just in North Queensland, where even the pool guests have teeth and want to eat you. No, I'm not in far North Queensland. I'm in North Queensland, but we still do have crocs here. And I will let you know if this story ever happens in Airlie Beach. The other day, I saw this TikTok on my feed and I just had to talk about it. I'll play it right here.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but there is a crocodile in the Sheraton pool. Sheraton Mirage, baby croc.
I've also added the video down in the caption, so if you could go ahead and go watch it from there as well. This is just like a perfect example of how wild not only Australia can be, but the top end of Australia. And honestly, if you've ever been on holidays in North Queensland, you know just how much of a paradise it can be, but it can also be a deadly paradise. Now, if you haven't seen this hotel on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen it, you just probably didn't know that you're looking at it, because it's the one resort in Australia that is just like, it looks like it's overseas. It's definitely Instagram worthy, and it's actually located on the waterfront of Port Douglas on the 4 Mile Beach. The rooms range from $400 to say $1,500 a night, and you actually have like, a lot of them have the swim up where you can actually swim right out from your room. It is beautiful. We've stayed there for I think 4 nights, and yeah, a lot of the celebrities go there. I think that Manu was there, like the French chef was there when we were there. I can only just imagine wandering down to the water, and the thing is, it is so blue that the croc would have stood out. And you can see in the videos that it's kind of swimming around. It's having a wow of a time. But my concern would be if there was like a toddler in the water, because it could potentially attack them. Now, let's get this straight. This 100% it's a saltwater crocodile. They're the man-eating ones. Now, this is just a baby, so it's not going to hurt many people. But you could definitely and we have plenty of times swam with the freshwater crocodiles because they're small and they're more like lizards and they don't really attack, whereas the saltwater crocodiles are hunters. So whilst this one is never going to be as deadly as like a big 5-meter croc, of course, it could still be harmful if it latched onto something. The good thing is that I read in the stories that there was no one in the water at the time, and as soon as the croc was seen, they alerted the hotel managers, and the hotel managers got the wildlife people down and they captured it and moved it on. I'm still not sure exactly what they did with it, but I feel like when they capture those crocs, they move them somewhere else. But I've also heard that they're often likely just to come back to where they were picked up from. Apparently, the reports are that everyone in the hotel remained super calm, which is great. I mean, I wouldn't really be terrified because it's only a little baby one, but I'm terrified of big saltwater crocs. And if you read the stories and you learn about them, you will too. They're like dinosaurs that roam the earth, that hunt humans, and they're protected. And so there's an overpopulation of them that they are becoming more and more into the areas that we swim and down south. Now, this isn't south, but lower south than what they ever have before. And here's the funny thing about Port Douglas. You definitely want to go there. Like, I would want to go there for the tropical weather. It is stunning weather there, but the side effect to that is that you can't really swim in the ocean. However, there is an area that you can swim in the ocean in Port Douglas, and it's monitored. They also have stinger nets. Now, I thought those stinger nets were actually to stop the crocs from getting out, but they're actually just for stingers. There are still irrigangi in the wet season, so they can also harm you and or be deadly if they sting you. And irrigangi is like a little tiny stinger that gets through those nets. So it's a little bit of a risk that you take. But the point is that if you're going to stay at the Sheraton Mirage 5-star luxury resort, you're going there because you want to use their absolutely stunning pool, and to find out that there's a croc in there is just like, it's kind of nightmarish. Apparently the staff handled it really well. They showed the wildlife people where to go, they grabbed the croc and they took it away safely. This is one of those stories that reminds me of why North Queensland and the top end of Australia is so special. Life is more of an adventure. I mean, between the curlews screaming at night, the snakes that you might see, although I thought I would see a lot more of them, and the crocs turning up at resorts, you don't get this in Melbourne. I think that's what makes traveling north such an adventure, because it's real, it's raw. We've got beautiful tropical weather and it definitely keeps you on your toes. And you know what? You learn a lot more about life. I love that this story had a happy little ending. And you know, that little crocodile in the water looked like such a cutie, but don't be mistaken, they are deadly when they grow up. But I'm sure they've relocated him somewhere safe. No one got hurt. And now everyone that was there has a really awesome holiday story to tell. And you know, because this story has gone a little bit viral, it has renewed Croc-wise warnings, and I believe that they're actually putting Croc-wise warnings in the resort. How crazy, because you're going there to get away from the crocs. But it is something that we always need to be mindful of, and that's why I like to talk about these things here and on my pages, because it's really interesting to me, and I want to make sure that anyone that's coming to visit this area is croc-wise, or they're snake-wise, they're cautious of the stingers, all that sort of thing, and learn more about life in North Queensland. Okay, well, thanks so much for being here. This is part of my new series that I'm going to be doing, talking about the news and reporting to you things that I've learned or that I've seen that you might be interested in around North Queensland, or that's got to do with mum life or travel. So if you like this video, please give me a subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and drop me a comment below and let me know if you visited Port Douglas, because it is, I tell you, one of the best places in Australia to go for a holiday. It's got adventure, but you also have absolute luxury. And I appreciate you being here in my little corner of the internet. If you do want to support my content or want to see more behind the scenes about my life and about my social media business, I do have a membership that is $5.99. You can think of it as donating a coffee a month, and that really supports my content. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching.